Hi guys, so this is a quick lesson on how to add and subtract integers using the rules, number line, and chips or integer chips. So let's start with addition. And so if I have an addition question, so if I have -4 plus -3, the rule is, so going over the rules, the rule is when the signs are the same, find the sum, keep the same sign. So when the signs are the same, find the sum, and sum means to add, keep the same sign. So if I was just using the rule, I know that 4 plus 3 is going to be 7. So I found the sum, and I'm keeping the same sign. In this case, my sign is a negative. So that's using the rule. Now let's look at the same question using a number line. So again, if you're drawing a number line, super simple. Put your 0 in. In this case, we're plotting in our negatives. So -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. When we remember that a number line on your right-hand side are your positives, on the left-hand side it's our negatives. So if I am at -3, so I'm at -3. In this case, I'm adding, I was at -4, that's my first integer, and then I'm adding a -3, so I'm adding 1, 2, 3, and I end up at -7. So now this is with the rule, this is with the integer, the number line, and so again the rule is when the signs are the same, find the sum, keep the same sign. Okay, now looking at it with chips, and normally with integer chips, your yellow one is your positive. I don't have a yellow marker, so I'm going to be using green as my positive chips. And I'm going to be using, so for the demonstration, green will always be positive chips, and red will be my, can't get the marker open, my negative chips. Okay, so in order to do this, I look at my question. In this question, I have 4 negative chips, so I'm not using the green marker. I'm drawing in my 4 negative chips. And then I'm adding an additional 3 negative chips. And then we add up these chips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My answer is 7, and it is 7 negative. So again, you saw through all 3 processes, we still end up with an answer of -7. Okay, now I'm going to show you a different question with different signs. So let's say my question reads, -5 plus +3, and again, you don't have to have that positive sign there. We just know that if it's a 3, it is a positive. And now the rule for adding is when the signs are different, find the difference, keep the sign of the larger number. So signs are different, so I'm finding the difference. What is the difference between 5 and 2? And the word difference means to subtract. So I'm subtracting 5 from 3. My answer is going to be 2. Now, which sign do I keep? I keep the sign of the larger number, and in this case, my larger number is my 5, so I'm keeping my negative sign. Okay, that's with the rule. Now, using a number line, if I was doing this on a number line, again, I draw my number line. I have my 0, 1, 2, 3. I have -1, 2, 3, 4. -5. So I'm starting at -5, okay? And again, so I'm finding the difference. So I'm starting at -5, and I am going in the positive direction 3 times. So if I'm going in the positive direction 3 times, 1, 2, 3, I end up with -2. And again, you notice my answer remains the same. So now I'm going to show it to you with the chips. So we've done it with the 2 processes. We're going to do it with the last one. And the last one says that, again, I'm using my green for my positive chips, my red for my negative chips. I'm starting off with 5 negative chips. So I have my 5 negative chips. I'm adding 3 positive chips. Okay, and this is called a 0 pair because they cross each other out or they negate each other. So this is considered a zero pair. That's gone, that's gone, that's gone. So what I am left with as my answer is, again, -2. So this is called a zero pair. Okay, so now we've done the sum when the adding of integers when the signs are different. And again, the rule is when the signs are different, find the difference, keep the sign of the larger number. We did it on number line, we got the same answer. We did it with chips and we got the same answer. So this was adding with integers and the rules that apply. Now we're going to do subtraction, and we're going to do subtraction the same way. So I'm going to show you subtraction using all three of the processes so that you understand what you're doing. So my first question is going to be -8 minus -4. Okay, so in order to do subtraction and the rule and how this applies is think back to when we did fractions and fractions with division. So in division with fractions, we changed the operation and then we did the reciprocal fraction for the second fraction. Similarly for this, what you're going to do is you are going to keep the first integer the same. You are going to change the operation, and then you are going to change this to the opposite integer. And in this case, that becomes a +4. Now what happens is you apply your addition rule. So the addition rule is when the signs are different, find the difference, keep the sign of the larger number. So I'm going to find the difference between 8 and 4, which is 4, and I'm going to keep the sign of my larger number. So that's using the rule. Okay, now if I was to do it on my number line, similarly again, I draw in my number line. I have a -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to extend that out. 7 and 8. So in this case, I'm starting at -8. And I am taking away -4. So if I'm starting at -8, I'm taking away -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I end up at -4 on my number line. Now with the chips are a little bit different, but in this case it's gonna, we'll see what it works out like. So again, my negative chips are red. I put in my negative chips, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I add in -4 because I'm also going to be, I'm going to take away -4, but I can't take it away because there's no zero pairs. So altogether, I now end up with, so in this case, sorry, I drew that incorrectly. Let me just, so in order to take away, so I'm going to take away -4. I shouldn't have added another -4 because again, I read the equation wrong. I'm not adding -4. I am now subtracting -4. So I look at my chips and I have 8 chips. Can I take away 4 of them? Yes, I can. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what am I left with? I am left with 4 chips. And what are they? They are -4 chips. Okay, so you see how that works? And again, we did it with the rule, the number line, and the chips. Okay, and one last one that I want to show you is if my signs are different, so that's my operation there, -5 minus -8. So if we're using the rule, I bring down my -5, I change the operation, and I change that sign. Now my signs are the same. The rule is the addition rule. When the signs are the same, find the sum and keep the same sign. So what's 8 plus 5? 8 plus 5 is 13, and I keep the sign. Okay, so on a number line again, and again, my number line will have to start from where it is, from 0. I'm going to count, so I'm starting at -5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I'm at -5. And I'm going to now, I'm going to continue to add 8 more. So I'm going to go 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you do the number line, that ends up at -13. With the chips, a little bit different. I want to do this a little bit quickly here. So I start off with -5 chips. I have -5 chips, 3, 4, 5, I have -5 chips, and I am taking away, I'm taking away 8 chips. So I look at here and I say, oh, I don't have any positive chips. So how am I going to do this? Well, you have to add in ordered pairs. And how I add in ordered pairs is in order to add in +8, I have to add in the negative chips that go with it. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then again, I'm adding in ordered pairs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then now I say, now I got all my chips. What am I taking away? I'm taking away 8 of the positive chips. So I subtract 8 of the positive chips. And when I subtract 8 of the positive chips, I am left with 13 negative chips. Okay, so this is how you do it, following the rule, the number line, and the chips. So you have all 3 ways. Use whichever works for you, but you know all 3 at this point.